Hi guys, welcome to Body Successful. This is Dr. K. Today we are talking apple cider vinegar. Believe it or not, apple cider vinegar has been around for quite a while. In fact, the first documented case of it being used was in 400 BC by Hippocrates, who used it as a curative tonic. It has been used since by Columbus to cure scurvy, and it was documented to be used by soldiers in the First World War to disinfect their wounds. So as you can see, it's been around for a while, and some people believe that apple cider vinegar, or ACV, is something of a wonder tonic, in fact, which is that is capable of improving many facets of your health and ward off various types of diseases and dysfunctions. And as you can see here, there's overwhelming anecdotal evidence supporting these claims, everything from heartburn to weight loss to supporting digestive health, balancing your pH, and as you can see, the large list that goes on here. Now, weight loss is one big benefit and is accomplished in various ways. It is claimed to burn body fat, reduce appetite, increase insulin sensitivity, stabilize blood sugar, and increase the sense of fullness and reduce appetite. Now, this is a really tall order to fill. So in order to understand further the mechanism, we should take a look at what apple cider vinegar does, not does, but what it is made of, and then see if we can find some studies to substantiate these claims. So apple cider vinegar, as the name indicates, is just that, vinegar made from apples. And it's a two-part process the way they make this. They add crushed apples with yeast, and the yeast converts the sugars inside the apple into alcohol. That's called fermentation. And once they get the alcohol, they're going to add bacteria to it, which in turn will turn the alcohol into acetic acid, the star of today's video. So if you're considering introducing ACV into your diet for whatever reason, you want to make sure that you get a source that it is not filtered, it is not pasteurized, and it's of an organic form. And this is what most people actually use, and I've seen even online, because I think it's just a really easily accessible, and it's inexpensive, and it's a good quality brand. Not that I get any kickbacks from this brand at all, but this is just what I happen to be using as well. And as you can see, if I turn it around, it's really cloudy, and this is what you want. You want that unfiltered form. And if you let it sit for a while, then you're going to see the sediment on the bottom, and that's what you want. You want that raw sediment, which is called, ready? The mother. I have no idea why they gave it this name. I just think it's awful. But anyways, so this is what you want to have. If you want to introduce ACV into your diet, make sure that it's an unpasteurized, raw, unfiltered, organic form that contains the mother. The mother is actually really valuable because it contains over a dozen different types of good bacteria. And these bacteria, called probiotics, support your digestive health. And also help move your bowels very easily. Now, they also contain extrinsic enzymes. The mother contains these extrinsic enzymes, which are very important because whenever you eat whole foods, they already contain some intrinsic enzymes that help break the food down and digest it. But once you pasteurize and or in general you process these foods, you destroy the intrinsic enzyme of the food, and the body has the burden of having to break all that food down and digest it, and has to make its own digestive enzymes. So the body gets overwhelmed eventually because we nearly don't eat enough whole foods. So adding extrinsic digestive enzymes through the ACV is really valuable. It's also good for your immunity or immune health, because ACV helps balance the good and bad bacteria in your gut, which is where most of your immune system takes place. So it turns out that this little sediment here is pretty valuable on the bottom. So on the other hand, even though that there's so much good stuff in that sediment, if you look at apple cider vinegar and its caloric value, it's like pretty much 0 to none. So you ever wonder how this little calorically poor stuff makes such a big difference in your health. So I try to find as much as many studies as I could, and online to support the claims. But it comes to no surprise to me that I found very little. And that's primarily because whenever you look at publications and studies in reputable journals, they usually are, profit driven. In other words, if you buy a bottle like this that costs a few dollars and, such a wonder tonic, how is that going to compete with a statin drug? So the bottom line is, I don't think that we are looking forward to seeing any publications or studies in the near future regarding apple cider vinegar, no matter how good this is for us, just because it's not going to make money. Nevertheless, we're gonna work with what we found. So what I found is that a study in 2009 had proven a really strong correlation between the use of ACV and weight loss. And in fact, this is the most cited study. It was done in Japan with 175 obese Japanese subjects, ages 25 to 60, otherwise healthy. They excluded all the people with diabetes or cholesterol or were on any type of medication. And they split the subjects in 3 groups. Over 12 weeks period, a group consumed either a beverage of 1 tablespoon of vinegar, beverage of 2 tablespoons of vinegar, or no vinegar at all. And at the end of these 3 months, those who consumed any amount of vinegar had a lower body weight, a smaller body mass index, less visible visceral fat, a smaller waist circumference, and lower triglyceride levels than compared to the placebo group that drank no vinegar at all. And the thing is, this sounds fantastic, right? Until you look closely at how much weight they actually really lost. Only 2 to 4 pounds in 3 months over the placebo group. And that comes out to about 1/3 of a pound per week. Now, most diets can do way better than that, right? The thing is, though, if you think about it, these guys have changed nothing about their diet. They changed nothing about their daily routine. The only thing they did is they took either 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar or 2, and they ended up losing 2 to 4 pounds and reaped other health benefits as well. So if you ask me, this certainly gets my vote, because it's pretty effortless if you think about it. You take a couple of tablespoons of vinegar, and at the end you're going to lose 2 to 4 pounds. So actually it does sound pretty good. Now, more extensive studies actually have been done with apple cider vinegar and sugar control, glucose control in the blood. And this was, I don't know why, but this became an area, a topic that was more studied regarding ACV. And a study in the Journal of Functional Food found that vinegar had a positive impact in lowering blood sugar. And in theory, or this theory, is that citric acid appears to interfere with enzymes that break down starch molecules. Basically, what acetic acid is doing is blocking the absorption of starch. So let's say if you eat starch and vinegar, your glucose will go down. But if you drink, let's say, a sugary water and you add vinegar, nothing will happen. So if you're having, let's say, bacon and eggs, again, nothing will happen. So it only works when you're consuming starch, it looks like it. It's possible that blocking starch absorption may help with weight loss as well, of course, because starches cause blood sugar spikes and therefore act as an appetite stimulant. So if acetic acid is interfering with the breakdown of starch, what that means is that starch is not being digested, and if it's not being digested, it's not causing any rise in blood sugar, which can help you with your appetite. And if it's not being digested, it's not being absorbed into your bloodstream, and therefore it's not contributing to calories, or further, it is not going to contribute with insulin spikes. Now, there have been a group of other studies done. This was another area of interest with ACV and insulin sensitivity. and they have found positive correlation in several studies regarding that. However, the success was primarily with people who were pre-diabetic and diabetic, which makes sense because you're a healthy individual, you're not going to be insulin resistant. So what they found is the following. So because insulin sensitivity refers to how well your body cells, specifically your muscles, respond to the insulin hormone. So the more insulin sensitive your body cells are, the better they can absorb and use glucose from your blood. And conversely, the less sensitive they are, the more resistant they are to insulin signals, the longer glucose remains in your bloodstream, which can lead to fat storage and harm your health. Now, the thing is, as far as we know so far, losing weight by studies shows that losing weight improves insulin sensitivity and not the other way around. Well, even though there isn't vast studies out there supporting all these claims, as far as I'm concerned, apple cider vinegar certainly stood its test of times, and there's certainly a plethora of anecdotal information out there regarding its positive benefits, or benefits rather, for different types of conditions as well as weight loss. And it certainly gets my vote when it comes to using it as an adjunct to your weight loss routine. So if you want to add it to your diet, now you have to remember something. This is just one piece in the big picture, because you still have to do your due diligence. You still have to be on point with your diet, with your exercise, in order to reap full effect. However, I consider this to be a caveat when it comes to weight loss. So if you consider adding it to your diet, you want to make sure that, first of all, what I've seen from people commenting is that you have to use a straw, and it makes sense because it's highly acidic, so it's going to erode your enamel. So make sure you drink it with a straw. Now it has a very strong taste, right? And it's highly acidic, so you want to make sure that you never just shoot it up as a shot, because it can give you stomach ulcers over a period of time. So what you want to do is you want to add a glass of water and a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And some people will add things like, lemon juice, which further detoxifies. It's really good for you, and honey, and to taste, just to make it more palatable. I prefer to just use a cup of hot water with a tablespoon of vinegar, and I actually don't mind the taste that way. Now, a lot of people do, so it's just basically up to you how you want to use it. I've been using apple cider vinegar for about a good month now, and I did not add it to my diet for the purposes of weight loss, just because I'm not in that stage where I'm interested in that, but I wanted to see what other health benefits I can reap from it. And I have noticed certainly that I move my bowels a lot easier, and definitely regular. I do not bloat. Even if I eat foods that I'm not used to, my stomach doesn't bloat afterwards. So far so good. As far as weight loss, I can't really comment because I already feel like I'm on point, and I have been doing for a long time things in order to support my body composition. So I don't notice a difference in that, but certainly there are many people out there who have commented on the benefits of weight loss and ACV. So make sure you do not exceed 4 tablespoons, 2 to 4, so 4 tablespoons of vinegar altogether in a day. And the thing is, since there's so little information out there, I'm really encouraging you guys to open up the conversation about apple cider vinegar. I created this channel to be a platform where we can all learn from each other. So it's really important, I think, for you to share your experiences with apple cider vinegar, and whether they were positive or negative, so we can all learn. So if you like the content, please shoot me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do that. Hit that subscription button and the bell notification so you can spend more time with Body Successful. This is Dr. K, all the way, signing out. Till next time.